Hi! So, you were wondering how to finger weave. This first video will be about the horizontal line pattern and how to set up a head stick. This is a head stick, or rather, it's a knitting needle that I'm using as a head stick. To begin loading up the head stick, you first have to measure your yarn. I'm using red and yellow. So, you go with a full wingspan, like this, and you want about 11 of these if you're making a necklace. For practice today, we'll be using just 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be enough to make a double wrap bracelet. You cut your yarn. Next, you'll take the two ends of the yarn and you'll fold them and you'll hold them as you drag your hand down the middle until you reach the center of the yarn. You will cut this once. Then you do the same thing again. Reach the center, cut it once. So we've cut it twice now. We want to cut it 3 times. This is 16 threads. Now we load up the head stick. I usually prop it on my leg. So right now we'll be doing alternating colors. To load up your head stick, you will take one strand, fold it in half, drag down to the center, and you will put it over the head stick, pinch it there, pull the rest of the thread through the loop, like so. There's also another method I like to use where you fold it in half, drag it down here, and then you put 2 fingers in and turn it, and then pinch it, and then put it on the head stick, like that. So, you'll be alternating the colors, and I'll get back to you once I'm done alternating the colors. Okay, so now I'm done loading the colors. Now we split them. So by that I mean you take one of these groups and you pick up one of the threads. And you do that with each of the colors. Like so. And then you'll take the other half of this, and what I like to do is I like to squish them on the stick. So you just pull them like this and then squish them. And then what I like to do is I like to make a little crochet end on the other end of the yarn on the other side of the head stick. But you don't have to do that. You can ultimately just pin it down when you're working with it, just flat as it is. If anybody's interested in how I do the crochet end, feel free to let me know and I'll make a video on it. So now I just put it in the couch cushions because I work on the floor, and now we can get to actually weaving. Okay, so now we get to start weaving. First thing to consider is your handedness. If you're right-handed, you will start on the right side and you will go under first if you have even numbers. If you're left-handed, you will start over on the left side if you're working with even numbers. I am mixed-handed, so I can do either. Today I'll be working from the left side. So we start over and then under. Yellow goes on the bottom and red goes on top. Over, under, over, under, over, under, all the way to the end, like so. And you pull your thread all the way through. Otherwise, you will get something called a false weave. A false weave is, let's say I do this next row and don't pull all the way through. If you do that for enough rows, you'll create a tangled spot right around here, and it can be really difficult to undo if you don't take precautions to prevent it. So I just pull my thread all the way through, and when I'm working with interlocks, which will be another video, then I tend to pull all the threads through every 2 rows or so. So you go over and under, and you'll be doing this for 3 rows. Over, under, all the way through. Then it's the first Wednesday of the month here, so if you hear a tornado siren, that's why. So you see what I just did. You take this top thread and you go behind and in front, like so. Now if you're working the other direction and you're going under and then over, under, over, under, over, under, over, all the way through to the end, you'll be going in front and behind. And you'll do that for every row after this. Every time you have 3 on the side, this is what you will be doing. So that's the basics for how to do the horizontal line pattern, and the diagonal line pattern is very similar to the horizontal line pattern. It just depends on how you set things up here. It's a little bit more difficult for people just starting out because it's hard to tell what goes on top and what goes on the bottom, but it can be done. So I can do another video on that as well. So thank you for watching.